Okay, where's the
Alright.
report?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. We'll have to check the like
We can
file.
post other recordings on the website too.
Yeah.
So,
We definitely do that.
make a folder or something.
I want to see if we can make like a bot that can just
That'd
immediately
be
transfer it
cool.
over to the website. Yeah.
Probably won't be too hard to do.
Yeah, you just have to like say when you get this file,
Yeah.
activate.
I'll just chill here and
Alright.
people.
So that one obviously pretty easy challenge. So let's move on to the next one, which is Neverwinter Bank. And so I'm just gonna have to reset this.
You might have to like reset your cookies.
So-
No, you just have to. We're just gonna pretend we don't see the flag.
What does it say about it in the?
So the goal of this challenge is basically to get a negative amount of money into that bank account there. We can input a number here, like we can do like, we can transfer money into it. But if we try to do, say, 900 there, it's not gonna do it. So if you look at the challenge description, they talk about the path of a loop file. And so since we're looking for a path, first stop is always go robots.txt. And there's a path there. So if you go to this JavaScript file here, we have the code that handles parsing the integers when we give them to that input box there. So we can see it calls parse int, and it calls parse int again to do subtraction. And it calls it a third time with a base 10 parameter, which means that it's parsing specifically in base 10 for that last step there. That means that in any other case, JavaScript will automatically try to detect what sort of number format we're parsing it from. So with that in mind, we actually sort of trick JavaScript here by finding a number that looks okay when it's in any other base that's not base 10. And a really good one for that in this case is going to be optional numbers. So if you just open this up again. So like if we try, I think the one I did was 0, 5, 12, and if we just transfer that and transfer that again, we get a negative number, and if I didn't already have the flag, it would show the flag now. So that's again a pretty simple challenge. And yeah. Right. Metro Lottery. We've seen this one a couple times at this point, I think. So I'm just gonna kind of through it here. Okay, so this is a website where we can order lottery tickets, and our goal is to win the lottery. So if we order like 100 tickets, you can see our percentage has gone up for winning, but it's only 2%, which isn't very good. So how can we guarantee ourselves to win the lottery? Well, what I like to do here is I click the network tab, and if I can just grab it, and we're right there. If we send an order to buy more tickets, you can see it sends a request to the server. Now, I don't know where I just went. If we look at Firefox has this really nice feature. You can also use Burp Suite to do this, where you can edit and you can send a HTTPS request. So we have the number of tickets that we bought here. So what if we just change that by like a big number, like a lot, and send it again? And then wait for it to finish.
What are some other
Yeah.
browsers that can do this? 'Cause I know Chrome can.
I don't know. I think Firefox and Burp Suite are the only ones that can, but I think maybe Edge can.
Okay.
I would guess Edge probably can because it's just a Chrome derivative anyways.
Yeah.
So it probably has all the same tools.
Chrome doesn't come with those tools built in by
Does it
default.
Oh,
No,
Chromium doesn't?
no. But I think Edge has some extra tools they added to it at some point.
Most modern browsers should at least
Yeah.
have some sort of dev tool.
But now, if I hadn't already done this, it also would display that we'd won the lottery and got the flag here. Because 100 something thousand tickets, you're pretty much guaranteed to win. Sorry, Mike. And it only costs us $1. So. So next one here is called a leak. Yeah, I just delete that. We're trying to figure out how to get the flag out of a shopping list website, so we can add any sort of item onto this list. And there's a way to get a flag from it. So, once again, we want to go back to looking at the network tab and seeing what happens when we send a request to it. So we get post request. And if we look through here, there's nothing too interesting, but the response is a buffer, which is kind of weird. I don't really fully know what that means, but I decided to play around with this a bit. And if we go into the request here again, it's basically sending the string value of what we just put into the text box, right? So if we change this to something that's not a string value, like a number, and then reload the page here, it puts something there. So what if we do that again and we do it with a bigger number, like say 100? And that gets us the flag.
Is that like buffer overflow? Is that what just kind of happened?
I think it's got something to do with how,
There's this type of JavaScript buffer that has an issue.
yeah,
If you do, you can do some research on it, but it's an issue with this JavaScript buffer.
it's something with Node.js buffers specifically.
Yeah.
How it's and translating that data. I don't know the specifics behind it, but I know how.
Equalizer on here?
I might have it on here, it might be off. I can just get it real quick,
Yeah, I
honestly.
definitely get that, because that's a really tool to be using initially is
Let's just skip it.
Equalizer, because it'll show you all the technologies that that current page is using. And it can be helpful to know like, oh, this is a Next.js app, which, I don't know, there could be some vulnerability on that, like. 2 days ago, I think there was some vulnerability with Next.js that came out with middleware,
Huge, yeah.
and then Nginx had
Okay,
bigger ones.
Yeah, they're just going back and forth. That's the thing you can check.
It's
Nothing
the
on here.
most used web.
web appleizer, we should. Let's reload the page for this to work. It's thinking,
If it breaks everything,
Wait,
then you're
what
on.
did you- what did you send to the grocery list again?
change
Filter data.
the string value to a number, basically, and we just change it to a very large number.
There's no difference.
So you can see it's using Express Node.js, pretty much what you'd expect for a server like this. Nothing too crazy. What's Moment.js? I've never heard of that before.
Some library.
Yeah,
I know most NCL, they usually always use like the Express with
Yeah.
JS for all their stuff, so.
so on to the next challenge, which is Metro Clinic. And so the first question for this one was, what was the name of the only orthopedist? And usually with a challenge like this, it comes down to SQL injection, so I started messing with various inputs here, and yep, you see already there's an SQL error, which is usually a good sign. So I believe what I did for this was I just did like it was or 1 equals 1. Okay, no.
I think you missed, you put the semicolon in the brackets the wrong way around.
Yeah, that should be,
Yeah, bracket then, quotes then semicolon.
yeah.
Actually, I don't think you need the semicolon there either, but.
Anyways, we now know that the orthopedist is Tracy Gill. And now we need to know Katie Kane's profession, so if we look back here at this list,
What did you send again?
I sent, what was it? It was like,
It was double quote, semicolon, or equals 1, right?
let's see if that semicolon is necessary.
Oh, or 1 equals
Yeah, I
1.
think the,
Yeah, so you do need a semicolon there.
Oh, do you? Oh,
Yeah.
That's ending the last.
Yeah,
statement.
exactly.
yeah, that's true.
So that gives us a list of all the people who work in this medical clinic.
Do you know why the like one equal or the semicolon and the 1 = 1 works with this
So
SQL?
like you just said, it escapes the statement and then we're just adding or 1 = 1 to the end, which would be true.
Why does this vulnerability work?
Why does this vulnerability work?
Yes.
It's like a choice question right there.
What's
Professor?
UDP.
Explain it.
I know why, but I can't remember how to explain it off the top of my
It's
head.
pretty much, it's just concatenating strings
Yeah.
together pretty much,
It's
so.
down to how like the SQL, they are structured query.
They're just not-
Database already.
It's just not, what's the word? Cleaning their strings
Yeah,
before.
sanitizing.
SQL. You're also technically not supposed to do like that with SQLite anymore, but like,
Yeah, no, most libraries should have some sort of way to
Yeah.
pass in parameter, like you write out your SQL
Exactly.
statements and then you'll use like brackets or something like that to denote where you
Yeah.
input stuff, and then you'll put in your parameters after.
you're supposed to with SQLite now.
And then it'll take care of like sanitizing everything and passing it in.
Yeah. So now the next question here is,
They'll probably find
who has a password of gray blob?
everything.
So getting passwords, we don't have passwords on this list. I believe.
Yes. If you have it in the bottom right there,
I think I
just
do,
select
yeah.
from. You can say insert a select statement.
This isn't the first time they've had this challenge, so to be honest, Firefox has saved everything there and I don't want to get rid of it, but.
That's scary.
It's like 4 characters. Sent.
Is it percent, can't remember what that means.
It's just like regex or something, or.
It adds more columns to it, like if we run it. It gets all the columns in the table, I think. Well. Yeah, I don't know what that's doing actually.
I'm pretty sure it's some sort of regex thing. Let me see, percent regex.
Yeah, look at that real quick.
It's not like, since that isn't the wildcard statement, that might only be for like some SQL databases.
Let's see. Doesn't, let's see. I don't think it matches a regex statement, no. It's probably some,
I'm clueless.
it's probably some SQL like thing. Yeah, let's just look at like SQL.
Does it, oh, wait, does it let you use special characters like double quotes? It's almost like a backslash.
Maybe, I don't think so.
I saw it was. Yeah, I'm probably.
I think this is just it saying it matches these characters. But
Is, I see you have a double quote, percent double quote equals double quote, they're not balanced unless I'm just completely blind. Oh, yeah, no, then, yeah, I'm blind. Pretty sure.
so where did it get? Yeah, it's percent double quote percent equals
I
double.
mean, it's probably starting another, yeah, it's probably starting another,
It looks like it's starting a string, yeah.
so if it's, once it concatenates it together, it probably.
Yeah. I think you're right there. And then if we look for the password, gray blob, we find that belongs to Kim Jenkins. And then there's also a flag there. So that was all the NCL stuff. That wasn't too bad. That was mostly basic things. So now we're gonna move on to over the wire and see how much of that we can get through because they have some.
The prompt you used again.
Yeah, let's see, where did it go?
How did you get to that prompt? Like, do you remember like how you came to that conclusion of what to use? Or did you just find it somewhere?
I was kind of just looking stuff up and found parts of it and then, yeah. I really don't remember what this, like, I know I saw what this does
I mean,
somewhere.
honestly, it probably wouldn't hurt just throwing it.
So
in
it's just an
ChatGPT or
example.
something, seeing what it says it is.
Know where the passwords are. I know it's just in users in this one. How could we see that in like an actual attack?
So there's actually a really fun way of doing that and let's see, I believe, I've done this before, you can get. You can actually, I believe. If you really want to, there's a way to get all the tables from an SQLite database. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it is a command you can run. Yeah, you do something like this basically.
We get the schema.
Yeah,
I got you.
and this is actually important in NCL challenge. Last year, I think, remember the one with the like clue game?
Yeah, was that the one where you had to like keep
Yeah.
guessing each character till you built out the.
So for that game, you basically, they only give you yes or no response, and you have to keep building an SQL like query that call yes or no answer each time.
I wonder if they wanted you to like automate that or
So
something.
you were
Or just,
actually,
like,
they explicitly banned automating it, that was the problem. So you basically have to do a binary search of like, is this table a thing, like, is there a letter greater than this?
Kind of automation if you just had a script that like did 20.
Yeah, was it an automation or no brute force?
No brute forcing, no automation.
No automation at all, okay.
How much of the competition is SQL injection?
A small amount. It's just web app.
Only, you only see some web app challenges with it.
Can you show them all the different like categories?
Sorry, I missed like the
off-
first 5 minutes.
Off the top of my head, they have like they have forensics, they have network traffic, they have like enumeration exploitation, which is pretty much reverse engineering. Yeah, password cracking,
This one's my
cryptography,
favorite.
open source intelligence, log analysis, web app, which we were just doing, wireless, but they usually don't have a lot of wireless challenges.
I remember wireless challenges being okay. I
They
don't remember.
usually don't have many of those, at least in like recent years. I don't think we've had too many of those, but
That means they're gonna,
it's very similar just to the network traffic.
Yeah.
It's just network traffic, but you're using Wi-Fi instead of Ethernet,
Cryptography is also a really big category in NCL.
which Eli always just cracked at.
Yeah. Forensics is also, I would say, like the second biggest one. Do you agree? Like, that's a really big one. They have a lot of challenges in there.
Yeah, they usually do. It's a lot of steganography though.
It's a lot of steganography. Have you done disk analysis in NCL? I forget.
I think that, yeah, they do usually have disk analysis. That's the
That's
best.
basically where they give you like an image of a disk and you have to go through it and find like a file or whatever. Okay.
And there's also scanning and reconnaissance, which is like, were you here for any of our in-map image?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much just like that. It'll ask you, scan the server, tell us what's going on all these ports. You have to know how to use in-map properly because there's some flags you have to enable to be able to scan certain things.
So I think for this gymnasium, a lot of them are actually a lot like OSINT challenges, like scanning domains, like using whois to see who
Yeah.
made the domain. when they
DNS
made it.
dumpster is a great one
Yeah.
too.
So now to over the wire. For anyone who doesn't know, over the wire is basically just a bunch of challenges and little like war games that exist online. And it's usually a good one if you're getting into things, but it's not what we're gonna be looking at today. We're gonna look at this other one called Nadas. Is that how you pronounce it?
Who's the links? Michael.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll put the link here. I'll just.
When's the competition happening again? Is it over summer or?
Registration's now, practice game starts, I think the 31st. And then individual game is the 11th.
11th through 13th, team game is 25th. through
Yeah, of April. It'll be before the end of the semester at least.
So you
You
first.
signed up to get a key.
I signed up to get a key. I saw your email earlier today, but I didn't check it.
Oh, yeah, it's in.
Once you get the key, do it today because
Right now.
registration ends tomorrow at sometime. So I just do it tonight in case there's
I'll do it
issues.
right now.
So this is the first web page we get when we go into this game here. So any thoughts on where we'd find the password?
Robots.txt.
What's that submit a token thing?
Submit token?
What's that?
Oh,
I've never
that's,
done this before.
I think this is
That's how they,
just.
yeah, that's how they track like which web page you're on, I think, so you don't have to like log in.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think that matters.
Okay, this is something.
Oh, probably some like leaderboard or something.
Yeah.
I've never used this before.
It's goaded, you got.
Honestly, it's, if you want to learn more about web app, this is good, and also the write-ups on it are really informative, so I got a lot of information from there, and I'm going to do that. Look at that.
Wow. So just commentate. Is that what that is?
So now, what we just do here is I'm just gonna copy that string. So I'll copy that, please. No. Are you really gonna be thinking about this thing? So I'll throw that into Notepad.
Do you remember the recordings for the CDC's?
And then we're gonna go to NAS one. And that's nice for the username and password we just got, so we just gotta go and copy that in.
And just Maybe like
It's also worth noting that they change these pretty regularly, so you can't just like write
It's
them
like,
down
so
and
see-
work later.
So-
This one's gonna work pretty much the same thing, but I block right clicking. Unfortunately, Firefox apparently doesn't care about that. So I guess that's the only problem if you have a Chrome browser. Let's see.
How would you get around that on like a Chrome browser?
Usually you'd press, I believe I think on Firefox it's F12. Here. Yeah, on Firefox it's F12. On Chrome, there's a similar keybind. I don't know what it is.
I think it's F12.
It probably is F12, but I can't say that for certain because I don't use it.
You can also do like the setting thing in the top right corner.
This also has an inspect tool somewhere in here.
Yeah, it's a setting.
Probably in more tools.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And if we go into content, there's the password. Somebody's copied that. And we're gonna move on to the next one. It's gonna take sweet time because I have web actualizer on. So now there's nothing on this page. But there's an image file here, and usually, let's just see where that goes. So look here, we have this files slash pixel.png. And this is literally just an image of a single pixel. But I'm kind of curious now. I bet if they have a files folder, you can access, yep. So what's in users.txt, I wonder? There's a couple of passwords we don't care about, and here's not S3. So if anyone's wondering, the way we found that was basically just by saying that for some reason here, they just have this image called files slash pixel.png, and then we went to the files directory. Okay. So let's go to non-S3. That's not the one to go to. And grab that password real quick. And this again says there's nothing on this page. It also says no more information leaks. Not even Google will find it this time. Any ideas on what that could mean?
Wayback browsers.
Usually we stop Google from finding things with robots.txt, so what if we go there? Well, they've named a directory with like elite speak, so that probably means we're onto something. If we go here, there's a users.txt again with not S4 in it. So if we go here, let's go to not S4 now. So far these all been pretty easy. I think they ramp up kind of soonish. They get increasingly more complex as we go through this. Did I mess something up? Oh, I see. I just forgot to get rid of that. Access disallowed. You're visiting from blank. Well, authorized users should only come from http://5.nos.overlaps.wire.org. Does anyone know how to change that? So when you first connect to a web page, we initially send this HTTPS request right here to it, which has a couple of things, mostly about some information about who we are. And it should be pending right now. I believe if we look around somewhere in one of these, is a referral. Let's see. I forgot where it went. Somewhere in here. This is not
Insert in there. Would say, sign in. Do you have an account or? You can just, create an account then.
And so now after clicking refresh, if we look at that, we can see we have a refer. And refer is basically just what website sent us here. And this one wants us to come from Nautilus 5. So what if, so can we change this in here? I forget. Okay, so Firefox doesn't actually seem to let us change this, so we're gonna have to use Burp Suite. Burp Suite is basically a more advanced version of the networking tab in whatever web browser you're using. It's really useful if you want to get into doing more things involving web application exploitation. So first, we're just waiting for this to start up, which is going to take a minute. Because I don't have the money to pay for like the fancy paid version. And we're going to do something called the proxy. The proxy is basically a browser that Burp Suite has that we can, what's the word here? It opens. This is a proxy browser where we can intercept requests from the browser to a website from. So right now our intercept is off, but if I turn it on and go to a web page, like the one we're on right now, let's see, first of all, it's going to ask for this information, so we're just going to put that back in. And we're going to want to put it in there. And now that we have this get method here, and we can actually add information to this, like we already know that it's asking for us to be referred by Nautilus 5. So what if we just take this, right? Just add this to the request that we're taking to the website right now. Should, won't save, and it says access granted. And now we have the password from Nautilus 5, so we're gonna take that. And we'll put that here. Now for now, I'm going back over to Firefox, just because I think it's a little bit nicer to use than Burp's browser. That's 5 and it's just disallowed. You're not logged in. So whenever there's a login thing, the first thing I can check is storage, and immediately we see it. There's a session cookie. So I'm wondering if we set that value to 1 and refresh the page. Look, we're logged in. And then with the password from Nautilus 6. So we're gonna do the same thing here. Nautilus 6.
Yes, so not the, or don't do the team game yet. We're trying to figure out B teams. But then once we do that, you'll either join or be a team captain. You can be good now.
And then we have input secret, and we have a button that says submit query. We also have this little view source code button, so let's go take a look at that. Includes secret, so this is some PHP code, it looks like, and it's including a file and checking if this exists. And it posts that. Okay. So what we probably have to do is let's see if we can't go to this file here. That's my first guess. So that's gonna be secret. Nothing found there.
Maybe add the includes.
That's a good idea, yeah. It's doing something. Okay, I feel like this is just supposed to be loading something that isn't, but it might just be an empty thing. Makes me wonder. Is there anything else here? Happens if we just submit a query, we get wrong secret. And console error. Okay, I think that's just something else going on there. So I have to just, okay. I do think it's supposed to be in that file, but it might not be displaying. Let's try that again real quick.
Sure, it just includes.
That's also actually a good thing, just checking to see what's here. We don't have permission to access that resource, okay. Let me check my notes what I did for this one real quick.
Check secrets.inc again.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird that that's just fully blank and not like a 404? What if there's
It
something hidden?
is. That's a good point. Oh, you were right. We have this in our debug text, so what if we go and we put that into the secret? Nice. That's the password from now to 7. So now if we go to nota7.org and then put that in. Let's see. This is a home and a about page. This is the front page. This is the about page. I kind of wonder if there's anything in here. This is a hint. The password from web user NAS is in /etc NAS webpass and NAS 8. I bet, I wonder if we just go here and put in a web, like a file path, will that work?
I think you need the equals.
Yeah, you think you might be. Oh. What does it do when we click home? Oh, I see. And so now if we go there, we get the password from NAS 8 because basically whatever code is here is just showing whatever file we ask it to point to. When we put it into this path right here. So we take that, and if we go NAS 8 now, we just get rid of all that. Down. So now we're on to another input secret, and there's more source code to look at, so we have to look at that. This is an encoded secret. And looks like they also left the method that they used to encode it on their webpage, which usually is not something you want to do. So when we have encoded things like this, there's a really great website for decoding things called CyberChef. You'll use it a lot if you're ever doing any CTF stuff, so most people here have probably already heard of it. So we're going to do is we're just going to take this and we're going to reverse the steps they did. So they did binary to hex, so we probably want to do hex. Oh, hex. So usually there's a way to convert to binary. Actually, we can see that's a base 64 string. That's just been reversed already. So reverse. At this point, CyberChef already sees that. Okay. And that's our decoded secret. So now if we take that and we go back, this it should. Yep. Just gonna take that now. I'll leave the CyberChef thing up there for a bit. Where are we going? Notice 9. Let's see. Find words containing Let's just put word in. And it does find a list of all words. So what's this actually doing? It's a key. And it's passing that through grep and looking through a dictionary.txt file. Interesting. Any thoughts on what we could do with this one? I'm currently wondering. What happens if we put a space in key? I wonder if that will do something. That's interesting. We can see how it's saying these are from dictionary.txt. Okay. What did I do? That's kind of more. What we just put a quotation mark. There's nothing there. Kind of want to know after seeing it behave like that with 2 words. What if you do 3? It's probably not gonna do anything, but I see it's appending anything we put there to the file looks to what the output looks like. So what if we do? Actually, what if we do? Okay. So we know it's doing grep on this file, which means there's a way to redirect that grep to get to a password file that we want. Trying to remember how to do that. 'Cause I've done this before, I just can't remember. Wait. Let me check my notes real quick, because I have notes on this.
To let you do like command injection with like pipes or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's basically what we should do, I think. Let's see, this is not us. That's Bandit. Okay, not us. I need this one down.
It's cool. I like the web you got. I just have from my all of mine online.
So what if you like,
They use
Okay,
put what you're trying to search for and then pipe like, and then do like cat diction?
that's kind of what we need to do. We need to be using the pass-through operator from what I just saw here. And so what we can do is what you're just saying we can cat that file. And we can do like, I believe it's. Basically what the semicolon does is that tells bash to run a different command instead of grep, and then what we're looking for now.
You need to add one more semicolon to the end since it's adding dictionary at the end of it.
I don't think so. Let me look at what I did again. No, I just typed it wrong. And this gives us the output of the dictionary, and then also we can see right here the password that's contained in the not_10 file. So I was actually kind of curious if we can do something else here. So the way you might navigate Drucker using this type of exploit is by doing something like this, and then you can use that to travel up and kind of look around here. And we keep going up, I believe. And like that. If we go /etc, we can see all the different like files that are in the etc folder on this system. And if we go etc/nonis web hash should be in here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. We can see that there's one called not_10, and that's what we're looking for. So we know that we want to cat a file in there. And that's how we get to doing the actual cat command that we just did. If we do that command, that will get us this, and that's our command or our next password for Natus10. It's pretty much kind of the same as like the SQL stuff where they're just not properly sanitizing any other inputs before passing it into the function, basically. For security reasons, we now filter on certain characters. Wonder why that is. So I bet if we put this in here, it contains an illegal character. I wonder. Hash isn't illegal. If I remember correctly, that is also a bash function as well. Let's do a source code here and see. So you can see if they're literally just checking, like, does it start with a semicolon? Otherwise, they're storing the exact same command, which probably means there's another way to get into this. So let's think for a second. Kind of, let me just close out that. I'm thinking. Let's check my.
What if you use spaces to choose a different file name, like perhaps a file name
That's
of
a good question.
password?
The problem is in our directory that we're in, there's only one, like, I don't believe that works. There we go. Unless we do something like maybe like. No,
What if you just had like an A or something that there's probably gonna be,
a what?
like the letter A or something, and you grab for that in or in the slash etc.
So you're saying like type A and then type slash etc, like,
Yeah.
let's see. I don't believe this will work, but it's worth a try.
I think you just need one out of 10.
Let me see.
It's the old one, so what if you do
So
11?
there's that. So what if we try with Nodus 11?
Yeah, two natas.
What?
Yeah, two natas. You
What should I do, right? There you go. Yeah, I don't think that's actually the intended solution, but that does work apparently.
you end up doing for it.
So what did I end up
You put
doing?
12 there.
You can. What if I put 12? That's actually a really good question. I'll try that now. Okay, they did lock it for that one, so it's probably got like a user or something that only has access to that one file. So I think on NOS 11, oh, I forgot to get the password, so I'm just gonna copy that back real quick. Okay, now we go to NOS 11 and let's see. Cookies are protected with like XOR encryption. Very secure, as we all know, unless that's a background color. There's,
I think yeah, that's the background color if you change it.
yeah. I would change it, but I don't want to go figuring out hex codes or colors right now. So, our source code, we've got some stuff that looks like it loads some data, like show password, and let's see. What I'm curious about is if we have a function that can potentially encrypt this. So here we have the encrypt function they're using, and they're doing, let's see. They take the text. I'm trying to figure what are they just XORing it with this? They might be. Okay. So what did I do for this one? I think all I did was basically just reverse the XOR there. So if we go back to the page, right now we have a cookie, so we can grab this. And I think I'm able to use CyberChef for this one, because I think I can do XOR stuff.
Should be able to.
And if we just do XOR, Okay, let me just actually do something else real quick, just convert. Yeah,
I think I have to base 64 at first.
I think it's,
Yeah.
No, just the UTF-8 not work.
I mean, can we just convert the hex and then,
Wait, censored, or what do you mean?
censored is just what they seem, what the key seems to be for this, for this.
Oh, no, I
also.
think that's just because it's censored. Like they're not showing it with
I think that is actually the key they're using.
Try it.
Worth a shot. It's worth a shot.
Yeah.
I believe that's like, I believe that's actually written in my notes that that is the key, it's just. They intentionally made it look weird because this isn't like an embedded variable or something in PHP as far as I know. So I think if we just go here. And make this. And now if we take plain text of just that cookie, this will be over here. Plain text, but I guess encrypted text, the opposite.
Does the cookie have to be on base 64?
Could be. Let me check what I did really quick, because I know. Like if this one, you actually do some stuff with PHP itself to reverse it. So let's start doing that. This one might, let's see. But yeah, it looks like you were right. This would be base 64. Decoded first. So let's just. So we take it from base 64. No, not there. We assume it looks like that, and I believe we take that from. X. From X by XOR, and then we XOR the. So I put another window here and just do CyberChef again. And grab this. Let's say 2hex. But it still doesn't look quite right. What else did I do here?
Can we try, since we can change the background color, what if we compare the cookie we get with a different, or with different background colors?
So actually it's not me, I'm rereading this. You actually have to basically. The key is a lot shorter than the actual, so I was wrong about the key, but anyways. There's a key in here and that key is a lot shorter than the actual text, which means. You can XOR the cookie with itself to get that key out of it, which is what I did in this screenshot right here.
Or the cookie with itself?
Yeah, hear me like you can see what's because does it decodes the cookie and it takes. Let's see, this is like the key is the encoded JSON of what we know the structure of the cookie to look like, because if we go back here to the source code, right? We know that the cookie is an array, it's specifically a JSON array with show password and the background color in it. So we can take these two values and then we have to take that and we have to XOR it with the base 64 decoded cookie to get the result. This one was a bit weird, but I'm trying to figure out how to explain it, but yeah.
I didn't realize you could just JSON encode that. I the way I did it was I like changed the background color that got that out of the, or like, I guess whichever part changed, I kept of the base 64 string and then just stored
You know,
that with.
honestly, that also probably is easier than what I did, honestly. So let's do that. So you said you took the cookie, right? Yes. Window. So we start color and we have our cookies, so I'm just gonna take that and copy it down. And then we just change the color to like any other number.
Yeah, just maybe 0, 0, 0, 0. You might have to do 6, 0, sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yep. So now you gotta take that and you just gotta find the difference between these two, which looks like it's about here. Yeah, so if you XOR these, do we get, let's see,
If you copy one of those and then XOR with 0, 0, 0, or the last one XOR with 6 zeros. Reverse, you got a base 64 decode.
oh, yeah, you're right. Base 64.
And you wanna change it from hex to UTF-8 since it's in text.
Yeah, and that gets, yeah, we get the, what do you call it, the key here.
Yeah, but that's only like half a key. You can instead, well, it's the full key but jumbled around. If
Yeah.
you go back to normal and do that and then add some spaces, you get like a partial key, so then you can just keep rotating it around until you get
Yeah.
a full key.
Because if I'm correct, the actual key is more like,
I think with Edwell.
yeah, it's Edwo. Now we know the key is Edwo, so all we gotta do is take this in the key Edwo. From base 64 again. Okay. Let's get these. Should I'll take either one of these cookies here and just. Yep, and that gets us our JSON array. So now that we have that, all we gotta do is basically just take this and we'll copy that. Back here, change this to yes. And convert to base 64. So. And if we plug this into our website, it should, after we reload, oh, is the game upset about something? Change it back. And did this. Okay. Oh, yeah, maybe it's just like your web is changed out to actually simple. Let's take that, get rid of the extra S at the end there. Get the cookie and reload the page. And there's the password. So I see this, and we want to get into Modus 12. Well, if
Sounds good if you could sit the recording.
where are they stored?
I'll get the recording, I can email it to you, and then I'm also gonna post them on the website too, just so people can also view it on there.
For this one, we get to upload a JPEG to the website. Yeah, because the source code is pretty much doing exactly that, where it names a random string, and it gives a random path from that file that we've uploaded. And we can go look at that. So there's probably a way to get a flag out of this by uploading like some code through a like magic bytes trick. I believe, I don't know if I have enough time to do that right now, do all separate, but I have the notes for that right here. And it's really simple, you just literally got to give this since the first one you only need the magic bytes, you just get to put anything you want into a file, and then since these are all PHP, we can just put a PHP script in there. So let's do that really quickly. So I think the next one. So we'll just call this fun image.jpg. And we will save that. Upload a file. I forgot you hit browse and then let's upload that. And now we can go look at that. Okay, it's upset.
Or name it .php, though.
Oh, that's, yeah. Yeah,
What,
Actually,
you
yeah.
upload it as a
Yeah.
.php.
actually, I think I know what it might be. I think you might actually have to just do, actually, no, you might be right. Let's try that first. Let's just see, there's no save as, so I'm just gonna go. Downloads. It's gonna take forever because it's slow. Let's try that. File. Looks like it changes the ending of it to b.jpg, so I'm wondering. What if we just kind of, what if we just right in here? We just add the JPEG magic bytes, which I think you can just literally type out here in this case. That's what I did, I believe. This one. Let's rename this to fun image dot. Image dot. I don't want to place that, I just want to. That, and we upload the file. I keep forgetting we need to like actually go select the file and then hit upload. I believe. Okay, no. Okay, try something real quick. Actually, you know what? I wonder if upload file and then go to networking tab.
I think the end thing or like the end, the .jpg is what it treats the image as. What if you look into inspector and see what happens, or yeah, just look into the debug, yeah, I guess, or that inspector.
Yeah,
Or go back one,
here.
or like a go back page, yeah.
So on Nadas, you can actually use the debugger, but you can click view source code to look at the code that's running.
Or I mean, like, or to go back to where it like says submit image. And then inspect element. Go to content.
Content.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, can you rename it from a JPEG to a PHP file and then, so, or, because it says right there value, so that's what it.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if we did that?
You should treat it as a PHP.
Nice. Yeah. And basically that PHP file just kind of goes through and says, give me the password from Nadas 13.
Also, a fun thing you could do is just go on like revshells.com and get a simple like PHP, yeah, man, prompt shell.
I don't know if Nadas actually allows that, but they might.
I think I tried it. You can also mess with everybody other stuff then, because you got a shell there.
I forgot to just. Nope, I don't want to go one campus right now. For security reasons, we now only accept image files. So I'm kind of wondering what happens if we try doing this and then doing that same trick again. I assume it's not going to work, but let's see. File's not an image. What if we do? Because I know there's a reason I have one of these.
I pasted that code into a .txt file on Windows and it just completely freaked out in Defender. It's like virus found. It's a text document. What are they gonna do? Execute code?
It is also 7:02 PM, so let me just finish this one up real quick.
Windows Defender had taken it down. No thread left.
Okay, so basically it checks the EXIF data of the image here. And then. See, apparently the thing I did is actually missing, which isn't good, but. Basically you send the magic bytes to the image for the specific case, and then you do what we did before, changing it back to that HTTP. So we just go here. And you go to that .jpeg image, and then. That was non-image. Maybe I should like rid of that being. Now, this is what worked before. I'm wondering why it's not working now. Okay,
Are you missing like any magic bytes in there maybe?
let me actually try something real quick. I think I may have actually used a different set of magic bytes. This I may have used GIF for this one. Then just browse that, take that. Okay, yeah. Let me go here. I just need to fix the HP file there real quick. But now it works. And now if we just re-upload this file with that in mind. And it was this one. Okay, I messed up the file somehow while we were writing it. You get the point. This, if it was working, if it was a working script, would execute on the server and give us the password in August 13. So I think I saw why I messed up too. So let's fix that real quick. And there's password from August 13. That's pretty much all we have time for, so. There we go.